Activities for pair work and group work. There are many different activities for pair work and group work. I'm sure you can find a whole host of others if you take some time to do some research. I have picked 3 specifically that work well for me and have been effective in my classes. The first one I've picked is pattern practice. This is where you get repetitive answers with slight variations. This is also a good use of the chunk sentence system, where you can practice sentences and use them in interesting or new ways with adjectives and verbs. Each time the student creates a slightly different sentence with the same basic pattern. For example, if the focus sentence structure is, what happens if, then student 1 can ask something like, what happens if you stay up too late? Then student 2 could answer, you will be tired the next day for school. And then student 1 can ask a different question, what happens if you eat too many cakes? Student 2 will answer, you will get fat and unhealthy. And so on. Student 1 varies the question each time and student 2 varies the answer each time. Then, after a set amount of time, you can get them to swap. The next one is comprehension activities. This is a very typical one of any ESL and TEFL classroom, as very often you're given a block of text or a reading for the students to ask questions and find out information from. So, you read an appropriate passage and you work in pairs and groups and use CCQs to talk, ask and discuss about what was read. You can make use and develop specific reading skills here, such as note-taking, skim reading skills, abbreviations, summarizing and speaking out in your own words. All of these are very effective IELTS preparation for the future. Then you can give them tasks while they're doing it. You can get them to circle the verbs, circle the adjectives, or find the main idea or look for themes. At the end, you get them to present and summarize to the class and allow for questions from the other groups. Finally, there's the classic debate and discussion activity. This is where there's a topic and the teacher sets some goals or aims. For example, you can discuss the pros and cons of homework, the pros and cons of hunting, or you can talk about which job is the best, which colour is the best, which animal is the best. The teacher can present them a list of items and they can discuss them like jobs or sports. The students can have the goal of deciding which is the most important, which is the one they would like to do the most, which is the best paying, and so on. In their groups, they can write it down, take notes, and then they can argue for and against with the other groups at the end. It promotes discussions and debating, and the students will have their own opinions about these things, and if you stimulate them correctly, they will want to express their views. The teacher can cultivate this atmosphere as well and give them leading phrases and connecting sentences like, that's a great point, however, I totally disagree because, that's very interesting, but I think. Obviously these phrases are for older groups and older students. If they are younger groups, you can simply let them say basic phrases like, I like because, it's good because, the blah 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 is the best, and so on. You make a decision depending on the age group and the level of your particular classes.